Alright, so we're going to be continuing 6-2 with multiplying fractions, and y'all already know how to multiply fractions in general, but we're going to be using ones, with x's and y's and having to factor and simplify and all of that stuff. So again, very, very important that we are up to date on our factoring. So if you need extra study time, make sure you spend that extra time to do so or ask for help. Okay. So multiplication rules for fractions. So we have the rule of if you have a fraction that was a over b, okay, and you're multiplying that by c over d, then that you're going to multiply across. So you're going to have ac over bd. So that would be your answer. Now don't forget that we can reduce across a set of multiplied fractions if they are common factors. There you go. And for example, this is super simple. This is what I mean, if you don't get what I mean. So if I were to say 1/2 times 8/9. Okay, so you could multiply and go 8 over 18 and then have to reduce then, or you can cross reduce. So I can reduce that to 1 and reduce that to 4. So again, it has to be the top of one and the bottom of another. So it doesn't matter if it's the same one, but it has to be top and bottom. So therefore we can go, and now we multiply across, so it's 4 over 9 would be our answer. Okay? But now we're going to actually start getting to stuff like this, not just numbers. Okay, so let's actually cross reduce first. So if I have 2y squared, that's going to cancel out to 1, and this is actually just going to cancel out to y. And then this has can be divided by 3, so we'll be left with 5, and this one can be divided by 3, and we're left with 2. So don't forget this x right here. So we have 2 times x times 1, which is 2x, over y times 5, which is 5y. So that would be my answer. Now for this one, we're going to have to do some factoring, so we need it to add to a -1 and multiply to -12. So that's going to be 3 and 4, but the 4 has to be negative, so I'm going to have factor that to x plus 3x minus 4. Now I'm going to factor the bottom. Oh, the GCF of x. So if I factor out the x, then that leaves me with x minus 5. So I factored out the first fraction. Now I'm going to factor out the second one. Ooh, the top is difference of squares, so that's going to be x minus 5 and x plus 5. And then I'm just going to write it over x plus 3. And now I'm going to start cross reducing. So I'm going to cancel out x minus 5, x minus 5. I can do x plus 3, x plus 3. And that's it. So now I'm left with x minus 4, x plus 5 over x. And you can just leave your answer like that. You could multiply it all out, and not be in factor form, but I don't see why you would, because neither one's more simple. So therefore you can leave it like that and not have to do more work. Now, the rule of exponents for a power of a quotient for every positive integer m. So this is what it is. It is saying that we have a over b raised to the m power. You're going to be raising both the numerator and the denominator. So it's going to be a to the m over b to the m. Okay? So that means, so for this one, if x over 3 is being cubed, then I have to say that equals, we're simplifying, so it's x cubed over 3 cubed, which is the same as x cubed over 27. Alright, so number 4, okay, now, that negative can go either with the c or with the 2. It doesn't really matter. But if you think about it, if a negative is being squared, it's going to be positive. So we just know it's going to be positive. So I'm just going to ignore the negative. So c is going to be c squared at the top and 2 squared at the bottom, which is 4. And then we have 4 over 3c. So those 4's cancel each other out, and that c cancels out, and that cancels to 1c, like just c. So you have c at the top and 3 at the bottom. Okay, number 5. We need to do some factoring. So what's the GCF of the top numerator for the first one? That's going to be 9x squared, so that leaves you with x plus 9. And then the bottom, I know I need that to add to a 5 multiplied to -36, so that gives me a 9 and a -4. So that gives me x plus 9, x minus 4. Now I know I got that really quick because obviously I prepped these notes, but you need to be relatively fast with all these factoring because the factoring part is not supposed to be the difficult part. Okay, not that the other part is difficult, but that's not the new part we're learning. So that shouldn't be something that you should be struggling with. So you need to make sure if you need to do more studying with factoring, you need to be able to go, obviously I'm going really fast, but you need to go relatively, be relatively fast with factoring. So we're left with x plus 5 at the top, and then I'm going to factor out the GCF, which is 5x, gives me x plus 5. So now I'm going to simplify, and actually I can simplify those right there, and that, and this x, and one of these x's. So I'm left with 9x at the top over x minus 4 at the bottom. Wait, don't forget that 5, so just be careful. I almost messed it up. So there we go. That's not supposed to be a negative. I was trying to fix the... There we go. There you have it.